Hi there, my name is Jason DeWark. My content area is PE and Health, and this is a literary field trip for juniors and seniors in high school. The lesson objective is, through visual and textual examples and active participation, students will recognize the key points of performing the squat and its variations, and be instructed to demonstrate their learning by performing it correctly. Also, they need to show further understanding of the proper movements and form of the squat and its variations. By doing so, students will have to critique another student's demonstration of the squat by providing coaching cues and ways to modify their faults. The purpose of this field trip is to build a full understanding of the squat and what all goes into the movement. By the end of the unit, students will be able to not only recreate the squat and its components, but they'll be able to modify the squat if needed and explain the movement chain of the squat. As I began researching for items in my text set, I instantly had 7 or 8, maybe even 9 of them in mind. The last 2 or 3 required me to do a little digging and find items that could supplement my lessons. I generally follow most research that is released in my field, so the main effort in narrowing my text set was finding the sources that were able to be relatable to the students. Overall, researching for the resources in my text set was not difficult simply because I follow a large amount of literature sources already, so thankful for that. So the students will have a week-long unit on squats, and each day as we begin class, we will pull up the given day's field trip assignment and go through it together. So let's do that. How the day one will start is every morning the students come in. This will be up on the board, being projected through a projector in my laptop. So day one, we'll just go through it as if we're teaching class. It states juniors and seniors. We're going to lunge, right into our first unit, the squat. As we take a trip on this adventure, you'll be engaging in activities that will not only increase your efficiency in the squat, but you will learn the benefits both physically and mentally that surround the squat. Let's get going. So day one, students will group up with a partner. They'll both be handed a hard copy of this particular article. Just show you a brief summary of it. Students will need to split reading up. Pages 1 through 3 will be from one partner, and 4 through 7 will be through the other partner. So it's essentially just a good old-fashioned meta-analysis of some of the benefits behind exercising and what it can do for academic performance. It's a little lengthy, but splitting up the reading I think will make it pretty manageable for the kids to get done in about 30 minutes or so, as stated here. Now, while reading, they'll also be supplied this visible thinking organizer that is basically just for them to show what they're unsure of as they read, what they were surprised by, and then what they liked and why they liked this particular part. Then, after all of that, they'll need to discuss it among each other, and then we'll discuss the article as an entire class. And as it states, they need to be ready to share because we're going to be asking each pair what were some of their key points of the organizer. And then lastly, of course, being a weight training class, we will get some participation in and do a short but fun and intense workout. And since this reading activity will take a little longer than some of the others, the exercise we do at the end will be pretty brief, but again, it'll be plenty intense. So day 2, as the students come in, they'll begin class and we'll watch this. It's about 10-12 minute long video on how to squat. Now, as they're watching this video, they'll be supplied this how to squat organizer that they need to be filling out. So it's some simple questions, some that are just fill in the answer, but a lot of them are just show me your thinking, show me things that you found important or key points to you on particular parts of the video. So this video is very informative, and it covers a wide variety of materials and what's covered in the squat and equipment and setup and just a little bit of everything. It's very thorough, and it's from a highly recognized professional in the field. So I think the students will get a kick from it, along with learn plenty of information. Now after that, the video is complete. They'll be grouped up with 3 or 4 of their peers. They'll have 15 minutes to collaborate and discuss the video with their organizer. Um, then again, we're going to bring it to a classroom discussion about the video and cover some of the key points that the kids enjoyed about it. And then for the remainder of class, of course, we'll begin working on something. But this particular day, we're actually going to start introducing the squat. We're going to work on the setup of the squat, focusing on the breathing and the descent in particular of the squat. So day 3, now that they have a little bit of history on the squat and how things are executed and a little bit of actual work, we're going to get into a little bit more. So day 3, the students will, as it states, take on the position of some of the professionals in the field of health and fitness. They'll be grouped with 5 or 6 of their peers. Each student will take on the role of one of each of the 6 participants in this particular article. Now this article I have, that again, they'll all be supplied a copy of this, but basically a question is asked, and then there's 6 different professionals that respond with their own opinion. So the goal here is that each group member takes a participant's role, they get familiar with the response, and then we essentially role play. They'll also be given this organizer to kind of log some of their thoughts, and then at the end they're going to give an overall opinion of the professional, just so I can really see their thinking and kind of what they got out of the assignment. I think it's going to be a fun activity. You know, not only will they learn things coming from those professionals, but they'll be able to really learn them and portray them as if it was something that they had thought of. And then of course at the end, we're going to get some exercise in. Now we're going to just continue progressing through the squat, and today we would spend time focusing on the ascent part of the squat, so coming out of the bottom. Day 4, we're going to be putting all the parts of the squat together. They're going to be paired with a partner. Each member of the pair is to perform 3 sets, 10 repetitions of 30 to 40% of their body weight. There'll be 90-second rest intervals. So as one of the members is actually performing the squat, the other member is going to be filling out this checklist based on a rating scale. So as their partner is doing this, they need to be filling this out and assessing their partner. Now as they're filling this out, they get 3 attempts, and the goal here is to improve each attempt, and that's what I'm going to be assessing. Now at the end of this squat checklist form, each member will have to write a 2-paragraph just kind of passage. One of the paragraphs will be about their own performance and how they got graded. The other paragraph will be about their partner's performance. So this will enable me to not only see how they felt about themselves, but then be able to relate it to how their partner did, and then see how their partner wrote about them and see how well it relates to their own relation. So that will be very interesting to see how receptive they are of feedback. And then at the end of the day, we just have a kind of supplementary workout in line, and that will be done after that. So the last day of this field trip, we'll be spending the day creating a workout using the Fitness Buddy app. Basically, this is an app that will be downloaded on either some of the kids' phones, or we will have some iPads in the weight room to have these kids do so. But essentially, it's just an app that allows the kids to browse exercises that work particular body parts and video demonstrations and such. So the goal here is that they can create a workout, and they'll be given about 15 minutes, and then they have to actually do the workout that they created. And then to wrap up the unit, they'll have the remainder of class to complete the final assessment. So within this final assessment, they have the workout that they created, and at the end, they need to use what they've learned in this unit and write 3 paragraphs summarizing your learning. They have to use proof of their thinking by using the lessons and ideas that occurred throughout the unit. And here's just a little motivator that I gave them, because they're almost through the field trip. And that'll wrap it up. This final assessment is for me to really see how they were able to wrap all 5 days up into one paper and see what they enjoyed most and what they were able to take most from, and just really find some commonalities throughout the unit to use as I move forward. So what I'm most excited about is that Now that I'm finished, I can actually see how this can be used in a weight training class. At first, I was nervous about if I'd be able to find enough resources and build enough content that was actually transferable to the classroom, but I feel like I achieved that well, and that if I were to teach this field trip next week in a high school, that it would actually go really well and the objectives would be accomplished. So overall, implementing reading strategies in the PE classes may not be the easiest thing to do, but it can certainly be done if the time and effort is taken by the teacher. Though PE classes are generally based around participation, it's time that we start holding students accountable for growth and their learning in PE, and I believe that this field trip can do just that. Thanks for taking the time to view my literary field trip, and I hope you had as much fun as I did. Farewell.